memorable 2010 regular season comes to a close today for the Minnesota Twins. They'll try to pick up win number 95 on the season, and who knows, by day's end, the Twins might have a record excelled in the American League. The Twins might have the best record in the American League by the end of the regular season. And with that, we bring you into Target Field for the last time. Dick Kramer and Bert Blyleven, what a year it's been, and it goes beyond the record and the performance on the field. This has just been a magnificent year in Twins territory.
It really has, Dick. You know, you look at 40,000 people here every night at Target Field. The Twins played very good baseball on the road. You play 500, you win at home. Exactly what the Twins have done, and that's why they're going to postseason.
And yet no team in baseball, I don't think, has lost so much talent on the field, yet has performed as well on the field. Joe Nathan out. Justin Morneau out in the second half of the year. Michael Kadire talks about how the resiliency of the Twins is responsible for another division championship.
We don't rely on one player or two players. You know, it's a 25-man roster. It's a 40-man roster for the organization. And you have to expect those guys to be able to come in and play when called upon. And we put that precedent out there in spring training that you're expected when you get to put on a Minnesota Twins uniform, you're expected to help us win. It's not you're expected to put up numbers, you're expected to do this or that for yourself. It's you're expected to help us win. And that mindset and that attitude allows us to go out there and win.
I don't think anybody could have said it better than Michael Kadire right there. You know, Ron Gardenhire, 6 times he's taken his team to postseason in 9 seasons. This year, hopefully, Ron Gardenhire, because of the team concept, will get him that Manager of the Year award.
Well, 94 wins at least, maybe 95, and a season full of memories, and we'll reflect on a wonderful season to watch Twins baseball. And when we come back, Danny Valencia will be the... Oh, we're going to take a look at the first moment, I'm sorry. One of several we're going to be showing you over the course of the day here. The opening game, the opening moment, if you will, here at Target Field.
Yeah, it's Carl Pavano on the mound, and of course the ceremony, the players were excited. They were playing the Boston Red Sox. It was Jason Kubel that hit the home run, allowing the Twins to beat the Red Sox 5-2. A very memorable moment, opening of Target Field. Good way for the Twins to start their championship season.
And a guy who wasn't even here on opening day has been one of the key contributors down the stretch, Danny Valencia, and we'll talk more about him when we come back. Minnesota Twins baseball on My 29 is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by Arby's. Come into Arby's today for their new $1 value menu.
Welcome back to Twins baseball on My 29, the final game of the 2010 regular season. Danny Valencia and the Twins getting set to try and get a split out of the series with the Toronto Blue Jays. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Rich, and it's time now to take a look at the Home Depot Improving Player of the Week, and we go with Mr. Valencia, who's had an outstanding September, hitting .310, and perhaps the most important thing about his month was the power. 5 home runs, 17 runs driven in just 22 games. Now comes the postseason, and Danny is fired up for his first time through.
I'm pumped, that was the goal. That was a goal for me, it was a goal for the team, get to the postseason and, and hopefully advance. And, step one's been fulfilled, but, there's a few more steps to the process, and I'm, looking forward to the challenge.
Nick Blackburn takes to the mound this afternoon, looking to put a cap on a sensational home season here at Target Field. More after this.
a job.
The Minnesota Twins won the Central Division as a team. Everyone is an MVP.
Fittingly, in a baseball season where the weather here has been incredible, we have an absolutely perfect day to close out the regular season. It's cool, but it's October. Not a cloud in the sky to speak of, and just gorgeous, gorgeous weather throughout the 2010 season.
And again, Dick, you know, we see shadows, and that's nice. After 28 years in the Metrodome, all season long, we have seen shadows here at Target Field.
Well, Nick Blackburn getting loose on the game mound here. Before the game, before the anthem, a special moment. You know, it's not often in baseball that a manager gets to go out on his own terms. We had Bobby Cox here earlier this year, and today a special ceremony for Cito Gaston.
You know what? Baseball, generates a lot of great managers. They also have a lot of class. And Cito Gaston, right on the top of the list with a Bobby Cox. He brought a lot of success to the Toronto Blue Jay organization. Two-time world championship manager Cito Gaston. Congratulations on a great career.
Former players Jack Morris and Paul Mollett are part of the celebration and acknowledgement. Verizon Wireless batting order for the Jays: Wise, McDonald, Bautista, Lyle Overbay. Hitting cleanup in a lineup that has a lot of power: Adam Lind, Edwin Encarnacion, J.P. Arancibia, Jared Hoffpower, and Mike McCoy.
Let's take a look at the Schmelz Countryside Volkswagen scouting report on Nick Blackburn. He's coming off the shortest start since July. Remember, he was sent down right after that in July, down to make some rehab starts, more or less, down in AAA. Made 4 very good starts down there. He's been outstanding since, but had that short outing in his last start, and he's looking to win here. It would be his 3rd straight season where he ends the season with 11 wins and 11 losses. So let's get him his 11th win.
And the Northland Ford defense for the Twins: Delman Young in left, and Art Span in center, Jason Kubel in right. Ron Gardenhire coming out with the likely lineup for the playoffs starting on Wednesday. Valencia, Hardy, Hudson, Kadire, Maurer behind the plate, Nick Blackburn on the mound. And the plan is for all the regulars to be out there for at least 5-6 innings, and then some, if not most of them, will be subbed for toward the end of the game. Here's Dwayne Wise to get things started. First pitch bounced up the line, foul.
Well, you got to like that, Dick. It's kind of like, what happens in spring training in late March, to get ready for the season. Again, the excitement of postseason is kind of like the opening day of the season. And, everybody hopefully get 2 or 3 at-bats and a good quality at-bats.
Another one dribbled up the line. This one will roll foul. And that, I think, fans need to be reminded, has been the overwhelming emphasis since the Twins clinched, getting guys ready. Now, it's a little disturbing for the fans, and in fact, even the manager, when you're giving up 10 runs a game down the stretch after you've clinched. But clearly the focus has been getting guys like Thome and Maurer, Hardy, etc., ready for Wednesday night.
Well, just what Alexi Casilla did yesterday to end that ball game, that's what the Twins needed. They needed a big kind of a pick-me-up. And there's a good pick-me-up right there. Nick Blackburn picking up a strikeout.
Wise with some parting words for Doug Eddings. 1 away.
Well, good fastball. Middle in. You can see Maurer, that 2-seamer, coming back over the corner. Wise doesn't like it, but Blackburn picks up his 63rd strikeout in 154 innings pitched. Again, not a strikeout pitcher, doesn't walk a lot of guys, gets a lot of double plays when he's on, and has that good movement on that fastball.
John McDonald on the first pitch pops it up. Orlando Hudson between the mound and second base gets a quick second out. And Jose Bautista will hit the designated hitter, importantly hitting with the bases empty. I will confess to you and everybody else, I'm really sad about today, because this is our last telecast of the year. The Twins going to the playoffs, but we'll be fans like everybody else. I can't remember a season that I've enjoyed more than And the ballpark has a big part of it.
Yes.
This has just been an absolute joy to be here, and I'm going to miss coming here.
I always thought it was just working with me, that the excitement was just there. But, no, I agree with you, Dick. Where did the summer go? My goodness, it went by so quick, maybe because of the ups and downs of the long baseball season. But when it's all said and done, the Twins are going to postseason again, and that's what it's all about for the Minnesota Twins and their organization. Just get there, baby, and you don't know what might happen.
Off-speed pitch missing. It's 2-1. To that end, we'll keep you updated throughout the day on the Boston Yankee game and the Tampa Bay Kansas City game. There are 4 possible scenarios regarding those 2 games and the outcomes. 3 of them put the Yankees in here Wednesday night to open up the playoffs. And as best we can, we'll follow it along today and hopefully give you all a good idea as soon as possible as to who the opponent's going to be and when the games are going to start.
I think what we ought to do is talk about there's an early update, Boston up 2-1. Talk about the National League. What could happen there? That might take 4 hours to do. My goodness, a lot of different scenarios. We'll try to capture what's going on in the National League, too, for division winners and also the wild card race.
2-2 to Bautista. And a drive to left, hit it Delman Young for the out. Good first inning for Nick Blackburn. He gets through the inning with just 9 pitches in a 1-2-3 first. Year, hopefully he'll have won his first Manager of the Year award. Speaking of Ron Gardenhire, here's his Window Concepts batting order for the series and season finale. Bernard Span, Orlando Hudson, Joe Mauer, Delman Young hitting cleanup. That might be where he'll hit Wednesday night. Jim Thome, Michael Kadire, Jason Kubel, Danny Valencia, and J.J. Hardy.
And the Schmelz Countryside Soft's got a report on Mark Sepchinski making his 12th start of the year, his 14th appearance. And he's put into the rotation for the Blue Jays when they kind of went with a 6-man rotation. Brandon Morrill had kind of reached the innings that they thought, so Sepchinski getting an opportunity to get some major league starts. And one thing about this young man, he needs to cut down on the pitches. Too many pitches in a short amount of time. He's coming off 2 very good starts in his last couple starts out.
Span takes strike 1 and strike 2. Span has been, I think, a little bit more patient over the last few weeks. And Sepchinski comes at him with strike 1 and strike 2. Trying to get into a deep count more regularly, and he taps it foul.
As a pitcher, you go out there, you try to establish your fastball. The strikeout pitch for Sepchinski is that slider. Now, he's coming off 2 starts against the Seattle Mariners and the Yankees, where he worked a total of 11 1/3 innings, but he had 17 strikeouts. There's that hard slider.
And a check swing, 1-2. Span, Hudson, and Mauer. Ron Gardenhire on his radio show this morning referred to this lineup as the lineup, suggesting that this is what we'll see, health permitting, on Wednesday, Thursday. And Span will be in the starting lineup. His bat won't. One away. Northland Ford defense for the Jays. Adam Lynn getting left field. Dwayne Wise in center. Mike McCoy in right. Encarnacion has had a great season series against the Twins. McDonald and Hoffpower up the middle. Overbay at first. Aaron Sebia behind the plate. One away, and that gets Hudson to the dish.
Hudson hitting .267. That's a little bit down from his career average at .282. But a switch hitter, hitting .258 as a right-handed hitter. 5 of his 6 home runs coming from the right side of the plate.
Don't know whether it's going to mean much, but for the first time in the Gardenhire era, the Twins are going into the postseason with 2 seasoned middle infielders. You know, for the other 5 years, there was always a position, second or short. Check swing, and they appeal. No. And it's 2-1. Whether it was a shortstop that hadn't played a whole lot as an established player, or a second baseman, sometimes both positions. But in Hardy and Hudson, 2 guys who've been around a while and have been in postseason play before.
Yes, Hardy with the Brewers, and actually Orlando Hudson last year with the Dodgers.
Didn't play much. He didn't play much toward the end of the year with the Dodgers, but boy, there's no substitute for experience, particularly in October. If you're playing at Yankee Stadium or Philadelphia, wherever the Twins road leads them, these guys will bring a veteran presence that should be helpful.
I thought Jim Thome said it best. Fouled off right there. When Jim Thome said it best, you know what? Because he was questioned about the Twins, 2-7 over their last 9 starts. You know, they big win yesterday, but Jim Thome said, you know what? You can throw all that out the window, because when they start on Wednesday night and announce your name and you walk out to that line, it changes. You know, you find that little extra energy, and all of a sudden you're refocused to a level that is hard to describe.
Couple of ground ball outs for Zepchinski. Mauer coming to the plate. Twins baseball on My 29, brought to you by Comcast High Definition. And Mauer back in the lineup behind the plate. Made a pinch hitting appearance last night.
Yeah, Mauer's not going to win his 4th batting title here this year, but he will end up 3rd. Miguel Cabrera, Josh Hamilton, Miguel Cabrera, and then Joe Mauer. Mauer hitting at .327. Another great average year for Joe Mauer that way. The home run production down, yes, but still, they're the Joe Mauer with the Miguel Cabrera. Good day. Maybe he can end up 2nd.
And that is down for a hit, and it'll run the gap. Mauer rounds first. And he checks into 2nd with a double. His numbers this year, although not getting him another batting title, are going to be strikingly similar to what they were 2 years ago when he did win a batting title. He hit .328 that year with 9 homers and 85 runs batted in.
That ball left up a little bit right there. That inside-out swing, a patent swing by Joe Mauer, taking it the other way for Joe, his 43rd double of the year. And it's a 2-out double here. Now see if Delman Young can maybe pick up another double, because he's sitting at 46 doubles. The all-time Twins leader, Justin Morneau, he had 47 doubles a couple years ago.
Young with 112 runs batted in. And while this is, as the manager proclaimed it, the lineup, placement within the lineup might change depending on whether it's a right-handed pitcher or a left-handed pitcher, but the Twins expect to see a lot of left-handed pitching. The likes of Sabathia and Pettit from the Yankees, David Price if it's the Rays, Cliff Lee if the Twins get the Rangers. So we might expect to see Delman Young hitting 4th a lot for the Twins come playoff time. 1 strike. And a fly ball to short right field. Mike McCoy makes the catch. Mauer left at second. No score after 1.
By the Twins dugout. And this morning I spoke to J.J. Hardy about his first year as a Twin, and I asked him what differences he noticed about this club, and he said every organization he's been with has preached pitching and defense, but he said the Twins back it up like he's never seen before. He says every day it's the focus of what they do, and he says it starts with the starting pitchers, that they go out there and are told to get ahead of the hitters. And I said, well, doesn't everybody talk about that? And he says, yes, but these guys are drilled into their heads to do that, to get ahead. And he says it's amazing to him that when somebody's down 0-2 versus 2-0, that the balls hit to short are actually slower balls because of the defensive swings. And Bert, I'm sure you understand that principle as well, that the batter's just trying to stay alive as opposed to sitting on a pitch.
Yeah, it's a good point, Jim. You know what, the Twins, and I think any club you go to, they always stress pitching and defenses, who can do it. And, you know, it's not only here at the major league level, it's something that is taught at the minor league level. Once a kid is drafted by the Minnesota Twin organization, they are taught right at rookie ball or be it single A, test your stuff, get it over the plate. And hopefully they take that to the big leagues one day. And most of the staff here for the Twins have fewest walks in all of baseball.
Denard Span running to the gap, makes the catch on a high fly ball off the bat of Overbeck. You know, a point of emphasis, the defense, and the best example of that I can think of in recent years, we'll take a look at Overbeck lifting a high fly ball, and Span kind of a little bit of a late break on it.
Well, I might have lost the flight of the ball right off the get-go, but able to catch up to it.
Remember when the Twins had Adam Everett as their shortstop? They were trying to do what they've succeeded in doing this year, having a productive veteran shortstop, and then they got Everett. And here's a guy who'd been around for a while, and he had nothing but shoulder problems with the Twins. And the reason he had shoulder problems, he was ill-prepared for the Good Morning America drill that the Twins do in spring training to, if nothing else, remind everybody, hey, we preach defense here. We're going to work at it because we want to be good at it. And here's a veteran shortstop who had a hard time adapting to that physically. Just wasn't used to making that many throws that early in spring training. 1-2 to Adam Lynn. Lifted foul. It'll reach the seats. Blackburn had a rough outing in his last start, and certainly wants to do better here, and I think lift everyone's confidence that he can do okay in the playoffs. Ron Gardenhire said this morning, you know, he was really agitated and unhappy and lost sleep over how the Twins played on the last road trip when they were giving up 10 on a nightly basis, and Blackburn was a part of that.
Yeah, that bad start for Blackburn in Kansas City, where he worked 4 1/3 innings, gave up 8 earned runs. That hurts, you know. And as a pitcher, you take a lot of pride in going out there and being consistent. And he just had one of those ugly games that you have to throw out.
Strikeout of Lynn, 5 up, 5 down. Jim Rich talked about the defensive swings you might get on an 0-2 count. I don't know that applies with this Toronto lineup. They on their Menards Key stat have 7 guys with 20 or more home runs.
They had all that together, and then remember they traded Gonzalez away
with what,
17 home runs when they traded him to the Atlanta Braves for Escobar. So yeah, this is a ball club that likes to swing freely and have a total of 255 home runs as a club, 4th all-time home runs ever hit.
And the numbers for Encarnacion are, boy, they're confounding. 20 home runs, but only 50 runs batted in. So in other words, there have been 30 guys that have scored other than himself on his home runs.
Well, when the guys in front of you are hitting home runs, it's just back-to-back home runs.
A lot of solo home runs.
Yeah.
But that's almost impossible to do at this point of the season, to hit 20, but drive in just 50. And another good inning for Blackburn. A couple of strikeouts on another 1-2-3 inning, and now Encarnacion has some unhappy words to share with Doug Eddings.
But can they get lit up like Minnie and Paul can?
As the game lasts long enough, I'm guessing they'll get lit up. That's awesome. There's Minnie and Paul, the original Twins logo going back to 1961, which has kind of been the signature symbol here in this new ballpark. Here's Jim Thome. And strike one. Thome with a base hit in 2 at-bats last night. In his second at-bat, he singled sharply.
Did he want to try to steal a base? Is that what it was?
No, he did tell me this morning, though, he wanted to run the bases. We got a shot of Ron Gardenhire saying, hey, what do you want to do? And told me, he said, no, I want to stay in. And I thought it's because he wanted another at bat. But he told me this morning he did want to run the bases to see how his back felt. And he'll get a chance here with a single to center. So a leadoff hit here in the second inning. And Thome says, hey, his back isn't 100%, but it's a lot better than it was a couple days ago. And he likes to be one of those guys who's aware of what his body is capable of doing.
And the communication he has with his manager. Again, you know, right there,
oh, he's coming out.
He's coming out. Right. So he didn't want to try to steal a base. So one good at-bat right there for Jim Thome.
And he'll finish with a 281 or 2 batting average.
Trevor Plouffe pinch running for him.
And I wonder whether the manager wasn't more insistent here. There's a chopper out at second and a quick throw to first, and Kadire quickly bounces into a double play. I just wonder whether the manager wasn't more insistent on getting Thome out of the lineup here rather than risk tightening up the back, trying to go from first to third, and something grabs and then suddenly they've taken a step backward. They don't want to do that in advance of Wednesday. So 2 quick outs here, and here's Jason Kubel.
Yeah, nice play right there by the shortstop, John McDonald. A very good defensive player. Ends up turning that double play.
Outside a ball to Jason Kubel. Oh, Kubel buckles in pain, fouling it off that front leg.
That's why they wear those pads. You see Michael Kadire wear that shin pad, and Kubel right there wears that shin pad, but still, it doesn't always hit right on the pad, and sometimes when it does, it still hurts. Yeah, right off the instep there.
Yeah. Twins have an off day tomorrow. Won't be any activity here in the ballpark other than for players who want to get some treatment in the trainer's room. And then a morning workout on Tuesday. So the schedule pretty light to let little bumps and bruises heal. And Zepchinski misses inside, and it's 2-1. Two and two.
Yeah, there's that hard slider from Zepchinski. Twins saw Zepchinski back in July in Toronto. He worked 5 2/3 innings in that ball game. He did give up 2 home runs, one to Orlando Hudson and one to Delman Young. A no decision against the Twins.
And now 3 and 2 with Valencia on deck. The bat foul. Kubel's average down quite a bit from a year ago. The home runs down. The RBIs can be down just a little bit. But if this is the lineup, Jason Kubel hitting 7th.
Tells you a lot about the strength of this ball club.
Liner to right, and it's caught by Mike McCoy. Twins get a leadoff hit from Thome. He exits the game. Zepchinski faces just 3 men in the inning.
Kubel again hitting that ball off his instep on the right foot.
Here's J.P. Arancibia. Talk about making a big splash in your debut. None have been bigger than Arancibia's. The problem has been since his major league debut. Couple of home runs, a home run on the first pitch he saw in the major leagues, 4 hits in his debut, and just 1 since. Swinging a foul, 1-2. 1 for 28 since his first major league game. Blackburn struck out half the batters he's faced in a pair of 1, 2, 3 innings. Missed the inside corner to even the count.
And Arancibia, just 24 years old. He was the MVP, the most valuable player in the Pacific Coast League this year when he hit 32 home runs and drove in 85 for the Las Vegas team in AAA. Blue Jays' #1 pick back in 2007.
Popped up toward Hudson. 1 down. For the game today, yet another statue unveiled. The Pohlad family, the sons, Bob and Bill, unveiling the statue of Carl and Eloise Pohlad. And I will tell you just my opinion, that is the closest likeness of all the statues. You can look at that, and what a great likeness of the patriarch and matriarch of the Twins organization.
What a great couple they were. Not because they owned the club, but just the way that they showed love for each other. Very nice.
Jared Hoffbauer quickly retired on a ground ball to Danny Valencia. And now Mike McCoy will hit. So McCoy, the only man left to interrupt what has so far been a perfect first trip through the Toronto batting order for Nick Blackburn.
Yeah, 3 strikeouts. That ground ball right there, that was the first ground ball out for Nick Blackburn. And usually when he's on, he'll get a lot of ground ball outs, but already 3 strikeouts.
At the knees, 2 strikes. Blackburn ended the second inning by getting Encarnacion on a called 3rd strike. And a costly trip to the plate for Encarnacion. He spiked his helmet as he left home plate. And Doug Eddings pointed at that. There'll be a fine associated with that. Valencia gets another try. Scoops and fires. And a good 1, 2, 3, 3rd inning for Blackburn. 9 up and 9 down. A special moment for the family of a very special couple in Twins Sun feeling pretty good as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Half the people here at Target Field right now are able to sit in the sun. Strike one to Danny Valencia, to be followed by J.J. Hardy and Denard Span. And a tapper to the left side. John McDonald fires low. Overbay digs it out. So many memorable moments this year. One of them coming oddly enough at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I gotta love it right there. A little cutter by Rivera and Jason Kubel hitting it out, and the Twins win. Kubel's grand slam off of Rivera and a 6-3 win.
More memorable moments that will follow here during our telecast. That one might have a lingering effect. At least that's the hope. The feeling has been that the Twins feel snake bitten at Yankee Stadium, and that they had to exercise some demons there. Well, that was the last game the Twins played at Yankee Stadium during the regular season. Kubel's home run coming in the 8th inning. This one, a fly ball hit down into the shadows and caught by Hardy. And under the assumption that the Twins will get to New York for a playoff game in a series yet to be determined, Yankees and Red Sox tied at 2. Maybe Kubel's home run did exercise a demon or two at the stadium. 2 gone here, Span. I mentioned the 4 different scenarios that are out there regarding the 2 games involving Tampa Bay and New York. If the Rays sweep, or if the Rays win and the Yankees win, that's a foul ball. If the Rays lose and the Yankees lose, or if the Rays win and the Yankees lose, under those 3 scenarios, the Yankees come here to play baseball Wednesday. Only if the Rays lose and the Yankees win do the top 2 spots in the East flip-flop. The Rays are then the wild card team, and they'll come here on Wednesday. And right now, 4th inning in one game, 3rd inning in another, and we have a tie in Boston and a tie in Kansas City. 1-1 to Span. Chinski's done that to a lot of the left-handed batters. He did it to Kubel, he did it to Mauer, he did it to Span, keeping him honest.
Well, he's got that 2-seam fastball. He'll run in on lefties, and that kind of sets up his strikeout pitch, that slider. Good fastball there, outer half of the plate.
Incidentally, Atlanta is winning its game in the 5th inning over the Phillies, and that's important in the National League side. That game in the 5th inning, it's Atlanta 5 and the Phillies 2. Swing, foul tip. Aaron Sevilla hangs on, and the Twins go down 1-2-3 in the 3rd. all the way back to yesterday.
Off of Kevin Gregg with bases loaded and 2 outs, a 3-2 count. Alexi Casilla hitting the base hit up the middle, and the Twins won 5-4. Boy, they needed that right there. Very, very nice finish for the Twins yesterday.
Here's Dwayne Wise. He was called out on strikes to start the ball game, and Blackburn starts him with strike 1. You see a spectator so far. Might see him inserted into the game in the middle innings. A little pop up, 2 quick strikes. Blackburn right now would be scheduled to start game 4 of the playoffs, if of course there is a game 4. 1-2. Ron Gardenhire was asked this morning again. We've all been asked. You know, there's a ground ball right side and through, a leadoff single for Dwayne Wise. Who would you like to see the Twins face? In Gardenhire's case, who would you like to play in the first round of the playoffs? And Gardy's response has been pretty consistent over the last week or so. Doesn't matter. Whoever we get to open here. That's the overriding concern, instead of opening on in the playoffs on the road, as has been the case when the Twins have had to play the Yankees. Whether it's the Yankees or the Rays, the home field advantage will be here at Target Field.
Yeah, I mean that's the way you have to look at it.
I still think,
you know, what if he were to say, oh, well, we want the Yankees in round 1 and get Tampa Bay? Well, you know, if they get the Yankees, they'll get CC Sabathia. If they get the Rays, they'll get David Price. So, you know, there's the probable starters for game 1 for the Yankees and the Rays. Again, Francisco Liriano for the Twins. Oh, look at that.
Blackburn picks it off between his knees and starts a double play. A couple of starts ago, we saw him kick his leg up and deflect the ball, knock it down and make a play. Here he fielded it between his legs.
Watch this ball kind of jams McDonald right there, and he gets it low and spins and knows that J.J. Hardy, the shortstop's covering the bag, throws it over toward the shortstop side. Perfect double play. Whoop, nothing to it.
There's a fly ball to right, just like that. It looks like the inning's going to end. Rep goes out there. And Blackburn faces just 3.
Need I say more? The pitchers are the best athlete on the field.
You can no longer submit your question online at carsoup.com/baseball. You cannot ask us a question or offer up a comment because we're out of here after today. But Jason Richardson of Alexandria got in under the wire, and he's wondering who we would like to see make the playoffs in the National League.
Boy, I tell you what, there's a lot of different scenarios going on in that National League.
Strike 1 to Hudson.
Of course, the Philadelphia Phillies are in and the Reds are in. It's the other 2 teams that are questionable right now, and it'll be interesting to find out.
1 strike to Hudson. The likelihood is pretty strong that there'll be a game 163 in the National League, but there are 2 different possibilities. There could be a 163 for the National League West title, could be a 163 for the wild card. Beyond that, there could be a game 164 for whoever would win 163. It's a wonderful, complex situation here in the last day of the season. Hudson swings and misses, 2-2. It'll be Hudson, Mauer, and Young here in the Twins' 4th. As to who I would like to see in the playoffs, I really would like to see the Atlanta Braves and Bobby Cox go out with one more playoff run. He's been just tremendous for the game of baseball. 2-2. Zipchinski tips it, and the shortstop McDonald can't make the play. It'll be an infield hit for Hudson with Mauer coming to the plate. And here's the complex situation with 1 game left to play. If the Braves and the Padres each win, the Giants and the Padres will play in San Diego game 163, and then there would be a game 164 for the wild card entry.
Yeah, the loser of that,
right,
of the Padre-Giant game.
And then if the Padres win and the Braves lose, right now they're winning 6-2. The Padres will win the West. The Giants will get the wild card. I mean, it is complicated, and it's hard to follow. But in terms of who I would want in there, I would say San Diego and Atlanta. There's another update with Atlanta leading 6-2. Nothing against the Giants.
See, I'd like the Giants. I like San Francisco. They've been playing really good baseball. Yeah, you know, Bobby Cox has had his time. I'd like to see the Giants and the Padres get in. I think Bud Black's done a great job with that ball club in San Diego.
2 strikes. The Padres leading most of the way, and for that reason, I'd like to see them get in there. I think it's really tough on fans to be a front-running team, and then you fade at the end. It's all part of the drama of baseball, but 2 strikes to Mauer. And he slices it foul. And ordinarily you can say, well, it'll all become clearer later today, but in the National League this year at least, it might not. It might be as confused as ever. We were talking before the game how a lot has been made of the fact that the Twins have had to play games 163 in each of the last 2 years. Mauer fouls it back. To me, the amazing thing isn't that. It's that there haven't been more game 163s in Major League history. Only played if there's a tie for the top spot. And there have been, to me, a remarkably low number of extra games. 2 strikes. Zipchinski to Mauer. And he got him with a breaking ball, 1 away.
There's that hard slider. That's his strikeout pitch. Zipchinski picking up his 2nd strikeout. Mauer had a couple pitches to hit that he fouled straight back, and then right here, perfect pitch. Good breaking ball down and away. Which Joe couldn't at least foul off to keep the bat going.
Here's Delmon Young, 0 for 1. If he goes 1 for 2 or 1 for 3, he'll finish the season with a .300 batting average. Takes a hack at that one, 1 strike. And that would be nice for Delmon to have had the type of year that he's had, to have his batting average begin with a 3 instead of a 2.
He's had a great year. 46 doubles, 1 triple, 21 home runs. He's driven in 112 runs.
High fly to right. Looks like he's going to go 0 for 2. Which, if nothing else, might guarantee he'll stay in the game here. Out number 2. Hudson still at first base. You can visit the official online shop of the Twins at twinsbaseball.com. Even though the regular season's coming to a close, twinsbaseball.com is open year-round, and you can browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, authentic classics for the whole family. The twinsbaseball.com shop. Get you geared up for the postseason. Trevor Plouffe entered the game as a pinch runner for Thome after he singled in the second. Plouffe with a home run here the other night. Breaking ball over for a strike, 1-1. In all likelihood, Plouffe will be on the outside looking in to the playoff run for the Twins. We hope it's a run. Twins are stocked with middle infielders who are a little more flexible in terms of their talents than Plouffe. The likes of Casilla and Punto and Tolbert can play second, short, and third. Switch hitters. A little bit more leg speed than Plouffe.
Yeah, but you know what? This has been a great opportunity for Plouffe to be part of it.
They have Hudson picked off, and the throw hits him in the back. Hudson will try for third. McDonald from his knees. And Hudson scampers to third base. Looks like he got hit right in the middle of the back. So an error will be charged on Overbay to keep the inning alive and send Hudson to third.
Yeah, well, Overbay wants to throw that ball on the infield side because where he caught it right here. But instead, Hudson running right toward the bag, ends up hitting him in the back.
Look at Hudson veer into the throw.
You're able to do that, and Hudson taking advantage of where it looked like McDonald, I believe, was set up, the shortstop.
So here's Plouffe taking just off the plate, 2-2. Watch Hudson, a veteran, just take a little step toward the infield grass and onto the grass.
Yeah, but you see where the second baseman right there should have been over on the infield side a little bit rather than right over the bag.
Now, we've seen second base umpires call outs for running out of the base path when a runner running from first to second actually steps on the infield grass. A pretty smart play by Hudson. He got away with it.
Yeah, Hudson will be credited with a stolen base and then the error by Overbay allowing him to go to third.
2-2 to Plouffe. And a base hit. So the veteran Hudson comes up with a pretty smart base running play, and it leads to a Twins run. He covered up a mistake by getting picked off. He ends up at third and comes in on Plouffe's single.
Well, again, this is the experience that Plouffe is getting here, you know, at postseason time. Fastball left up, and he hits it into left field. And Plouffe picks up his 6th RBI.
Here's Kadire. Overbay with Plouffe leading at first was talking with second base umpire C.B. Buckner about Hudson's base running play. And we'll see where it leads the Twins with 1 run already on the board. Kadire hit into a double play his first time up. 2-0. Atlanta leading the Phillies now 7-2. A wide strike zone from Doug Eddings. Ball looked like it was right over the batter's box line. 2-1.
Swinging a bat, boys.
Our 1 for 2 might be done for the day. 3-1 with Repko on deck. And Kadire draws a walk, and the inning will continue. Repko will hit with 2 men aboard and 2 out.
Yeah, the first 3 innings for Sepchenski went very well, but here in the fourth, he's been struggling. Again, it's key off the fastball, and that's why his outings usually go 5 or 6 innings, because he throws right about 90 pitches because of innings like this.
Kubel fouled the ball off his foot and left after his second inning at bat, and now Repko takes a strike on the inside corner. Foul. Just to clarify things, because we know it's confusing and I'm confused, but if Atlanta wins today, that puts the pressure on the Padres to win against the Giants, and if they do, then you'll have,
it's a must win.
Right, then you'll have that 3-way tie with the 2 playoff games, games 163 and 164. It appears Atlanta's on its way. It's just in the 5th inning, but the Braves have a 5-run lead at 7-2. Repko strikes out. The inning ends. Hudson started the inning with a base hit, and he got away with a base running play, and that eventually led to a Twins run. Here at Target Field for the last time during the regular season, Twins have a 1-0 lead, and Lyle Overbay will lead off the 5th against Nick Blackburn. Delman Young is going to finish the season just a little bit below 300 because he's been replaced by Ben Revere. Drew Butera behind the plate. Nick Punto at second. Overbay, Lind, and Encarnacion here, and the pitch flipped foul. So Joe Mauer out of the ball game, going 1 for 2, and Drew Butera likely will catch the end of the ball game. Nick Punto replacing Orlando Hudson at second base. There's Punto. And Revere out there in left for Young. And another foul, 3-2. Red Sox have taken a 4-2 lead on the Yankees.
Boy, don't you think Boston wants to win that ball game? Yesterday's doubleheaders, both of them went extra innings.
Yeah, they spent like 9 hours at the ballpark between the 2 games and the time in between the split doubleheader. Overbay retired. Here's our Arby's trivia question, our last one. 152 local telecasts, and we've gotten the first 151 right. Who are the 2 American League managers to win 2 World Series titles?
One of them was honored before the game here today.
think the other one is in his home ballpark trying to beat the Yankees. 1992, 1993, and there's very definitely a Minnesota flavor to the championships. Dave Winfield and Jack Morris, part of the 1992 team. And again in 93, Jack was there with Paul Molitor. And it was nice to see Paul and Jack on the field with the pregame ceremony. I asked Jack before the game today, I said, tell me about Cito's strengths as a manager. As a bouncer headed up the middle, cut off by Hardy, out number 2. Jack said he had all the right qualities, the strong managerial strengths of Sparky Anderson and Tom Kelly, but he never got mad. He just had an even disposition about him throughout, and I think that's been my impression. And Ron Gardenhire spoke of it the other day. He's just a gentleman. He's a man of high character and great temperament. And Ron Gardenhire, hopefully this year, will be the manager of the year. 1-1 to Encarnacion. Blackburn's had 5 very strong innings here so far. 2-1.
Yeah, one thing I've seen so far from Blackburn, that sinking fastball's got some good sink to it, some good movement. That last pitch in and then getting the breaking ball over. Like that.
This one hit high and deep to left center.
Left that up a little bit.
And it'll carry into the bullpen. And Encarnacion continues to absolutely bludgeon Twins pitching. His 21st of the year to tie the game.
And his 7th against the Twins this year. That's why this game of baseball, you can be making some great pitches and then you leave one up. Blackburn had allowed only 1 hit until that hanging breaking ball right there, and it's almost deja vu of his home run yesterday. Landing almost in the same area, in the bullpen area. That went a little bit further. That went into the Twins bullpen.
Bit of an exaggeration, but in the first 78 games of the year, we've seen about the same number of balls hit into the bullpen as we've seen in this series. Blue Jays have knocked a few of them in there. Delman Young hit one in there the other day, or yesterday.
Home run measured at 431 feet.
1-1 to Aaron Sevilla. 1-2. So the pattern continues now. Encarnacion with 21 home runs and 51 runs batted in. Another solo homer. 1-2. The Red Sox have taken a lead 4-2 on the Yankees. Unless the Yankees come back and win that game, they will come here to open up the playoff series on Wednesday. Simplest way to look at it would be to look at it as if Tampa Bay has a half-game lead on the Yankees because they own the tiebreaker. Even though the records are the same, you have to consider them the first-place ball club. 3-2 to Aaron Sevilla. Pounded toward Valencia, but a foul ball. 4-2, the Red Sox in front. Dustin Mosley starting for the Yankees. And that game is scoreless in the 4th. And that game becomes relevant only if the Yankees win the game in Boston in terms of who the Twins will face. 2-out walk after the home run. Aaron Sevilla reaches. And Jared Hoffpower will hit.
That first walk by Blackburn.
Target Field's been ranked the best fan experience in all of professional sports, and with ticket demand at an all-time high, make sure you lock in your seats for next year with a Twins season ticket plan. You can choose from a full, half, or partial season ticket plan. It all starts at $220. And for more information, call 612-375-7454. 1 strike to Hoffpower, hit a ground ball to Valencia his first time up. 1-1. Blackburn with 65 pitches, hoping to complete 5 innings here. Might get a 6th. Big swing and a miss, and now the shadows beginning to be a factor, as we talked at length about yesterday. This game starting an hour later than yesterday's game, and the shadows starting to creep out in front of home plate. Been a long way, but foul. Ron Gardenhire talked about the string of good plate appearances the Twins had in the 9th inning to win the ball game, with the shadows in place about halfway between home plate and the mound. And some guys took some close pitches, threw some walks. Casilla got the base hit to win the ball game.
I don't think the shadows really come into play until that shadow goes past the pitcher. Then it's kind of hard to pick up that baseball.
Bouncer to the right side. Punto to Cuddyer. The inning ends. Encarnacion with another home run against the Twins. We're tied at 1. Season, Denard Span with 3 triples in 1 game.
Yeah, against the Detroit Tigers. Span showing off his speed, hitting the ball to right field. Ordonez had a little trouble with that ball, playing the carom. The Twins ended up beating the Tigers 11-4.
And here we're tied at 1, bottom of the 6th inning. Bottom of the 5th inning, I should say. Danny Valencia taps the first pitch. Might have cracked his bat again. A grounder to short. McDonald over to Overbay, 1 away. And that'll bring up J.J. Hardy. City's gotten the lead now on Tampa Bay, but the Yankees are trailing 4-2 in Boston.
Yeah, Wade Davis against Sean O'Sullivan starting for the Kansas City Royals. Wade Davis for the Rays.
And Hardy takes a ball, 3-0.
I mentioned last inning with the shadows, going creeping toward the pitcher's mound. A lot of times when that pitcher's in the sunshine like right now, you're not going, you pretty much have the same type of rotation. You're going to see the ball pretty good. It's when that shadow goes to that pitcher, and then it's kind of hard to see because of the background, the outfield, especially the batter's eye in the sun. That's when it's tough to see the rotation, not as much the ball itself. The tight rotation, especially if you have someone like Chinsky out there that has that tight slider.
Full count to Hardy with one gone in the 5th. And Hardy draws a walk like that. A lot of people, including the Chicago manager, thought that the Twins' home magic would disappear when they moved to the new ballpark, but Denard Span has a theory as to why they've done so well here.
I was along with the people that were saying that we're going to lose some type of an advantage leaving from the dome because of the lights, because of the roof, and we knew all the bounces in the Metrodome, but it just seemed like when we got here, the fans they brought the best out of us. Every home game has been it's been 40,000 people here, and I just feel like no matter where we are, as long as we're in Minnesota and we have 30 to 40,000 people cheering for us, I think it was going to be magic.
Hardy will advance. Aaron Sevier with a throw, and Hardy moves into scoring position after a wild pitch. I wonder whether the catcher might not have had a tough time seeing the spin on that ball.
Well, that ball just kind of hit the dirt just before him and got underneath the glove.
Pass ball.
Yeah.
So the Twins got a break in the 4th inning to score a run. Now a pass ball advancing the go-ahead runner into scoring position. I talked to some people in Kansas City about the Metrodome. People like Frank White, who played there, and John Wathen, who played and managed there, about the quirkiness of it. One of the few indoor ballparks, the opaque white ceiling and all that. And they thought, too, that when the Twins moved out of that environment that they would lose some home field advantage. But when you play in front of 40,000 people, whether it's in a ballpark or a parking lot, that gives you a huge home field advantage.
It's called energy. It just gives you more energy. And I think, you see it in New York, you see it Fenway Park, you see it in some of these other ballparks that pack their house night after night.
Bounce to the right side. Span will advance the runner, but it's out number 2. And Hardy stands at third base with Hudson coming up next. Arby's trivia. The 2 American League managers, current managers, to win 2 World Series titles. I believe it's Gaston Francona. Joe Girardi has 1. Joe Madden has none. Buck Showalter has none. Gardenhire, Ozzie Guillen has 1.
Mike Scioscia.
Jim Leland has 1. There's a push bunt by Punto, foul. Mike Scioscia has 1, yeah. It's about time for the Twins. They had 2 in 5 years, and it's been almost 20 years since the Twins have gotten 2 and won the World Series. What are we going to do? This ballpark's already outdated, Bert. We've run out of space
for the flags.
For the flags, next year we've got to put a flag of some sort up there, and there's no room.
Oh, I think they'll find room.
Maybe replacing the TC flag. Two strikes to Punto, trying to put the Twins back in front with a 2-out hit. And Aaron Sevier does a nice job blocking that pitch in the dirt. We become fans after today. Do you, as a soon-to-be fan, do you have a preference as to who you'd like the Twins to play in the first round?
No, I really don't care. You know what? There's talk about, the Yankees. I think, the way the Yankees have been playing, there's a ground ball. And a nice play by Hoffpauir to get Nick Punto at first.
And to keep this game tied at 1 as we head to the 6th inning. Edwin Encarnacion with his 7th home run against the Twins, 5th in this series. Trevor Plouffe with an RBI single. Nick Blackburn with 5 good innings, and he's out there to start the 6th. Blackburn, really the only mistake he made was hanging a breaking ball to Encarnacion in the 5th. Now he'll face McCoy, Wise, and McDonald. Matt Tolbert in the game now at first base, replacing Michael Kadire. Ron Gardenhire intimated this morning that Jose Morales would be traveling with the team but would not make the 25-man roster. So Tolbert becomes the emergency first baseman with the presumption that he would make the 25-man roster. And Gardy has said that what he's looking for backup players are players with speed who could pinch run. Tolbert fits that bill. But you have to protect yourself in case of an injury within the game. And if Michael Kadire should have to leave the game because of an injury, now it looks like Tolbert would be the guy to back him up at first base. McCoy strikes out, 1 away. 1 gone in the 6th, and let's find Jim Ridge.
All right, thanks very much, guys. Well, obviously the playoffs start on Wednesday. And for Michael Kadire, it's another shot at a World Series ring. Now, I talked to Michael this morning about how he feels this year's team compared to some of the others that he's taken to the postseason, and he feels that this team definitely has more depth. Not many weak spots in this lineup, including the bench, and he also loves the fact that they have potentially 3 closers in the pen. And Bert, you've obviously been on teams that have gone on to win World Series titles. How about the feeling of this club? It just feels different around here this year with the Twins. It seems like there's that air of confidence here that we haven't seen in a while.
Well, you know what? I agree with it, Jim. You know, you look at the bullpens. Again, we talked about a little bit about it yesterday, Dick. You know, the top 4 teams with the lowest ERA out of their bullpens are the 4 teams going to postseason because, you know, as a starter like Nick Blackburn, hey, give me 6, 7 good innings and then turn it over to a bullpen. And usually it's the bullpen that wins the ball games for you.
You know, there's so much focus about the starting pitchers as there should be, whether it's Sabathia, Price facing the Twins, and Liriano. But, you know, if you paid attention at all, you know these playoff games far more often than not are decided in the last 3 innings instead of the first 6. You know, and the Twins have, you know, had their hearts broken so many times against the Yankees, and the heartbreak hasn't come early in the ball game. It's come in the last 3 innings.
Right. And you asked me before, you know, who would I rather see the Twins play, the Yankees or the Rays? Yeah, it doesn't matter, but you know what? The Yankees aren't running on all cycles as far as their starting staff. They've got some guys that, you know, are hurting a little bit, and like Jake, you know, Burnett, he's not pitching very well. Pettit's been banged up a little bit. You know, Hughes, they've shut him down a little bit early because of the innings pitch. CC Sabathia, yes, you know, he's a great pitcher. But after that, where I think, you know, you look at the Twins, you got Liriano, you got Pavano, you got Dunsing pitching great. Blackburn, if game 4 is needed, he's been pitching good.
2-2. Well, for me, just again, from the fans' standpoint, it comes down to this. The safest bet is that if you want to get to the World Series, and that's the goal for the Twins to get there and win it, you've got to go through New York. It might not happen, but that's the safest assumption to make. Now, would you rather play the Yankees in a 5-game series with the home field advantage, or would you rather play them in a 7-game series without the home field advantage? And that's what it's come down to.
Right.
Blackburn finishes strongly, if in fact he's finished. 1, 2, 3, 6th inning, and he's faced just 2 men over the minimum.
Remember Jesse Crane striking out Paul Konerko. You know, the White Sox, they were the closest pursuer of the Twins, and the Twins just took advantage of Chicago's falters right there, and Jesse Crane, a big part of that, coming in and picking up a couple big strikeouts. So a big part of that bullpen, Matt Guerrero, Jesse Crane, setting up, you know, Fuentes and Matt Capps.
Drew Gutierrez's first plate appearance here, leading off the 6th inning. He followed by Ben Revere and Trevor Plouffe. So the 3, 4, and 5 hitters were Maurer, Young, and Tony, and now Butera, Revere, and Plouffe. Popped up, and Hoffpower, second baseman, with the catch, 1 away. Chevy Game Break with an update as to who the Twins are going to play in the playoffs in the first round. And right now, it looks like it's going to be the Yankees. Red Sox leading 6-2. John Lackey going for the Red Sox and Dustin Mosley for the Yankees. Alex Gordon's hit a 2-run home run against the Rays.
Yeah, again, you know, both clubs lose. Again, it's the you know, division play that has the Rays staying at home against the Texas Rangers, and the Yankees would come here.
And Revere with a fly ball, right center field. Wise with the catch, out number 2. Trevor Plouffe drove in the Twins' run in the 4th with a single to left. Up and away, ball 1. See any activity in the Twins bullpen? It might be Nick Blackburn. Here's a drive to left center field. Wise chasing it, and he gets there to end the inning. Might be that Nick Blackburn will be asked to pitch the 7th inning. We'll find out here shortly. In the last regular season game of a great season, today's high-speed pitch brought to you by Comcast with Nick Blackburn out there starting the 7th.
Yeah, Mark Sepchensky at 90, and Blackburn. Well, it's going to be a while for Blackburn again. Game 4 starter, and Blackburn has been outstanding so far. 81 pitches for Nick Blackburn, 54 have been strikes.
Jose Bautista, Lyle Overbay, Adam Lynn facing Blackburn. Bautista takes a strike. Bautista goes for a stroll. High and tight. See, I would think if I'm at the plate, and you know obviously better than I do, but I would think it'd be very tough to stand up there at the plate where the shadows are right now, where the ball disappears halfway to home plate.
Isn't that a shame? Hated those shadows.
Snap bat, watch out.
Watch out.
Oh my. I think everybody's okay because the folks saw it coming. Yikes.
Yeah, always dangerous to see a bat like that. It almost becomes a spear. And thank goodness everybody's okay.
I suppose there are players out there who might cork bats, but as many bats, barrels that end up in the seats these days, you wonder whether anybody would ever have enough of whatever it takes to put cork on a bat. And now Bautista claiming he fouled the ball, and home plate umpire Doug Edding saying no, it's strike 3. Bautista with 54 home runs doesn't want to be cheated here. And he wants a shot at 55. Here comes Cito Gaston trying to keep Bautista in the game.
Oh, Blackburn picking up his 6th strikeout. There's a breaking ball down and away, and we'll get a look right here. Bautista saying that he fouled it, but definitely missed it right there.
He's so used to hitting the ball on the sweet spot of the bat, he doesn't know what a foul tip feels like anymore. Here's Overbay 0 for 2. Well, it sure looks as if the Yankees are coming to town. Boston now leading 7-2. A bouncer to second. Scooped up by Punto. Twins have teamed up with the National Sports Center in Blaine to provide outstanding off-season instruction as part of the Twins Training Academy. The first sessions begin in late November. They're available for players from ages 10 to 18. The Academy is about developing necessary skills to improve young ball players. To get all the information and to register for the Twins Training Academy this off-season, visit twinsbaseball.com. 2 down. Here's Adam Lind. And the Red Sox opening it up now 7-2. And again, if that score isn't reversed by the Yankees, what happens in Kansas City isn't relevant at all.
Right.
So unless the Yankees win that game, they'll be coming here Wednesday, presumably at night. Here's a drive to deep left field off the bat of Lind. Revere leaps. Can't get it. It's a home run. He nearly pulled it back, and it just barely got over the wall. Revere got there, and based on his reaction, he might have gotten some leather on that ball.
Adam Lind hitting his 23rd home run. Again, one of those 7 hitters. That ball's away. He just takes it the other way. Rivera goes back. He leaps right there. I didn't see where that ball hit.
Yeah, I don't know either whether it hit just on top of the wall. Revere never had it in the glove.
Right.
He may have hit it.
Home run measured at 345 feet.
Drilled foul. I just want to see if this guy can make an out. This might be his last time to the plate. He's made one today, but he's also hit another home run.
Yeah, Blackburn has struck him out on a slider down in his first at bat, like that right there, but down in his own. Then he left one up, and Encarnacion hitting his 21st home run, that in the 5th inning, a solo home run.
Beyond the number of home runs the Blue Jays have hit here, it's where they've hit them. We've had a lot of opposite field home runs hit here in a season that hasn't given up too many. We've had some balls hit into the bullpen. There haven't been many hit there. Punto out, making the catch in short center for the 3rd out. And another Toronto home run has put Toronto up 2-1. During the 7th inning stretch. Game summary. What else is new? Blue Jays have hit a couple of home runs.
Yeah, in the 4th inning, the Twins get a run right there. Orlando Hudson credited with a stolen base error by Overbay, and Trevor Plouffe scoring a run for the Twins. But in the 5th inning, Encarnacion hitting his 7th home run and 21 home runs on the year against Twins pitching. And in the 8th inning, Adam Lynn taking a sinker the other way. Ben Rivera, good effort. It comes up a bit short, and the Twins are down 2-1. This is the 9th game between these two ball clubs. 25 home runs hit by the Toronto Blue Jays against Twins pitching.
On the season, they've out-homered the Twins 257 to 142. And yet the Twins have scored more runs on the season than the Blue Jays have. Matt Tolbert leads off for the Twins here in the 7th against Mark Zepchinski. Tolbert, Repko, and Valencia scheduled. Span, Valencia, and Hardy, the only regulars, the only starters still in the lineup. One and one.
Well, Zepchinski doing a pretty good job. 87 pitches, 59 have been strikes. Couple walks, 3 strikeouts.
1 and 1.
Jose Mahara starting to loosen up. Nick Blackburn, 7 innings through 96 pitches. He gave up 3 hits, but 2 of them long balls.
Called 3rd strike with Zepchinski clipping the corner, 1 away. And that'll bring up Repko.
Zepchinski going inside, picking up his 4th strikeout.
Repko seems to have secured a postseason playoff roster spot as a defensive replacement, say for instance for Jason Kubel. Has shown some speed, a strong and accurate arm. So imagine a scenario where the Twins have a lead late in the playoffs and they want to improve the outfield defense. Repko bunts it right just wide of the first base bag. Overbay couldn't get to it before it rolled foul. But Repko would enter the game, for instance, with the Twins leading late in the game for Jason Kubel in right field.
Yeah, like we've seen throughout the season.
Hasn't homered in a while. Hasn't had, of course, an abundance of at-bats. Been just about 2 months since he's homered, 1 and 2. And a breaking ball, tap foul. Don't know whether Kevin Gregg, the closer, would even be available today after throwing so many pitches yesterday, but right now the Jays have the lead, and a possible save situation for somebody once Zipchinski leaves the game. Strike 3, and there'll need to be a throw to first. Aaron Sevio for out number 2. Target Field will host postseason baseball in its first season. It can also be the home for your company or organization's holiday party or event. A lot of different venues inside the ballpark to choose from. You can visit twinsbaseball.com/Target Field events to get all the information on celebrating the holidays at Target Field. Twins are not doing what they are doing in Cleveland this year. We talked about that last week on the road, where they're going to ship tons of snow to Progressive Field and turn it into a winter playground. Indians finished last in the league in attendance. They may have more people there show up in the wintertime than in the summertime.
Sounds pretty fun, actually.
One and 1 to Valencia. And now 1 and 2. Well, this guy's thrown strikes with 96 pitches, 66 strikes. And really the run the Twins got was a little tainted because of an error, the result of a savvy base running play by Orlando Hudson, who was picked off. Overbay throwing to second, and Hudson kind of veered into the flight of the throw and ended up at third. Plouffe ended up driving him in with a single. 2 and 2 to Valencia. And now 3 and 2 with Hardy on deck. Twins haven't had a hit since Plouffe's RBI single in the 4th. And Valencia strikes out. And the Twins go down 1-2-3 in the 7th. Another memorable moment at Target Field. Jim Thome against Matt Thornton. And the signature moment, I think, in this new ballpark, at least during the regular season.
Yeah, that walk-off home run measured at 480 feet.
And Thome and the Twins hope there'll be more memorable moments later this month.
Yes.
You know, that's the thing, isn't it? This has been so much fun here this year, but if you get to the postseason and do well, the regular season isn't forgotten, but it gets pushed aside as it did in '87. We all remember the great games and the great moments in the postseason in '87, the rally after you guys clinched a World Series berth at the Metrodome, but we tend to think less about the regular season because there's so much focus on the postseason.
Well, there's 22 teams sitting out there that are not going to be part of postseason. They're going to sit at home and watch postseason, and they're going to say, what can we do to get there? Because it becomes a jealousy almost as a former player. You know, you look at other teams and you say, you know, hey, I'm with the Cleveland Indians. What do I need to do, you know, to get to postseason? You know, you get the postseason, a lot of good things might happen. Jose Maharas coming in to replace Nick Blackburn, picks up a strikeout.
And Jared Hoffpower will hit.
The main thing is to get there. Get there, and hopefully good things happen. Well, you can see Doug Eddings definitely has an early flight.
Wherever his next assignment is or his off-season home, he wants to get there.
Don't blame him.
There's Hoffpower. Strike. It fits between the batter's boxes.
Yep. Be swinging, boys.
And it gets there in flight, airborne. It's a strike. And if you're a pitcher, you got to play to that, don't you? And pitch to it?
Pitch to the corners.
Wherever they
make that 17. I usually say make the 17-inch plate become a 23-inch plate by hitting the corners, but here this afternoon, make that 17-inch plate become a 48-inch plate.
Span out there in center makes the catch out, number 2. Well, it's going to be the off season, as you said, for the 22 teams. Also going to be the off season for you and me. And we've had great help from the Twin staff here, the media relations staff. We want to thank them. We want to thank our great producers, directors, crew people that have allowed us to bring the Twins baseball to Twins territory.
All the camera guys, everybody behind the scenes. Thank you very much.
It has been our pleasure. I know your off season, I don't want to say it's highlighted, but at least dominated. You're going to be a new man when we see you next spring,
I
right?
hope so. I'll be moving around like a little kid again with a new hip, I hope. Getting hip surgery on the 13th of this month, so I'll be doing all my rooting down in Fort Myers, Florida for the Twins.
And then eventually we hope you'll be out on the golf course and working on your suntan and things like that for next spring.
I hope so.
Fouled back.
Get ready for fantasy camp. I need to drill somebody.
All you do in fantasy camp is walk around with a clipboard and levy fines on people.
Yeah, that's hard, though.
What do you have to do to prepare for that?
I just don't want to take the cart around like Mudcat Grant does. I will not take a golf cart. I will crawl from field to field.
Bouncer left side. Valencia charges. A tough assignment here, and he just barely got Mike McCoy, who scampered down the line, and Maharas has a 1-2-3-8.
29, Twins down 2-1 here, but coming up right after today's game, join us for Extra Bases live here from Target Field. Al Newman will join us, and we'll take a look at the playoffs for the Twins that get underway on Wednesday. It looks like the New York Yankees will be the Twins' opponents. That's coming up right after the game here on My 29. And I'd just like to take a moment to thank you, Dick and Bert, for letting me be a part of these broadcasts again this season. It's a great honor to be part of these games, and I just want to thank everybody at FSN for allowing me to step in here and be a part of this, because it's really like getting a call up from the minor leagues to work with you guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jim, and thanks for your help. And that's a pretty good deal, isn't it, when you get paid to go to ball games and experience what we've experienced here this year?
Absolutely. Sitting down here is a great spot. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
J.J. Hardy taking ball one and then strike one against a new pitcher, Jesse Carlson.
Yeah, Jesse Carlson coming in, making his 20th appearance.
Fastball, swinging and a miss.
Only 12 and 2/3 innings, 13 hits allowed, 5 walks, 2 intentional with 7 strikeouts for Carlson. Got called up in the middle of August.
Down and in.
There are the numbers on Carlson in his 3rd season with the Blue Jays. That sidearm type delivery, not overpowering, big sweeping breaking ball.
Oh my. That's comical. And Hardy just kind of smirks and comes back to home plate. The pitch nearly hit him in the knee.
Even though it ended up inside, it may have crossed the plate as a strike, and Hardy saying, okay.
Here's Span. Outside, I think. Yep, ball one. Span 0 for 3. And now a strike. Phillies trying to come back on the Braves a little bit. They've got a threat going with 2 on and 2 out in the top of the 8th inning. Bouncer right side. Span's night might finish, or day might finish 0 for 4, 2 down.
You know, I have this Major League umpire media guide. I'm just looking at Doug Eddings. He lives in New Mexico, and he attended Mexico State University, and it's probably maybe like a 5:30 flight.
Going through Denver, I suppose.
Yeah, probably out through Denver.
Here's Nick Punto. It's a strike. Punto entered the game after Hudson scored the lone Twins run in the 4th inning. It's lifted to right and short. McCoy comes in, makes the catch, a 1-2-3-8 for Jesse Carlson. It's a memorable moment. Denard Span with a big base hit against the Indians. Danny Valencia scoring, and then later in the clubhouse after the White Sox lost, they uncorked the champagne.
And remember in that ballgame, the Twins were down 4-2. They scored 4 runs in the 8th inning. And then when the White Sox won, as the Twins did, they celebrated.
6 championships for that cluster of guys. You know, and it's not just Ron Gardenhire, and he'd be the first to tell you. His coaching staff works harder than anybody else. In the minds of the manager, they work tirelessly and deserve an awful lot of the credit for what's happened here in the last 9 years.
You know, as a former player, too, I have seen coaches, you know, when you win a World Series in 79 and 87, which I was fortunate to be part of those 2 winning ball clubs, you see coaches cry because, you know what, these guys dedicate so much time and energy, and a lot of these coaches, you know, they never played Major League Baseball. A lot of them never did. If they did, they just got what we call a cup of coffee. So to World Series ring, unbelievable for the coaching staff. So Alexi Casilla taking over at short for J.J. Hardy.
A lot of baseball and a lot of memories have to happen before the Twins get that World Series ring. Glenn Perkins on the mound here in the 9th. Perkins with a nice fielding play. Wise a snap bat and an out, 1 away. For the last couple of weeks, the Twins have been auctioning off a number of the Twins Around Town statues that have been displayed in downtown Minneapolis. Been a great benefit for the Twins Community Fund. There's 1 more statue left. Bidding on the 2008 statue wraps up today. So if you haven't already, or you want to check your bid and up your bid, visit twinsbaseball.com/statue auction for details.
Unbelievable. Another sellout crowd here today. There's a base hit by John McDonald. 40,664. That brings the season total to 3,223,640.
And an average of just under 40,000, only because the Twins didn't start selling standing room tickets until they were about halfway through the season. Here's Jose Bautista with a runner at first and 1 away. And a strike.
I think we can speak for the Twin organization. Thank you. Thank you, the fans, for helping this 2010 season become a very memorable season.
And
it's not over yet.
No, I've gotten particular joy watching the families. I'm watching a family right now return to their seats, and the kids. And this new generation of Twins fans, if they were at the Metrodome, they'll quickly forget about it, because I think of the Twins and Mortensen and everybody Hennepin County doing it right. You know, they had a chance to, the old saying is measure twice, cut once. Because it took so long, I think everybody measured about 10 or 12 times, and now we've got this, and we're going to enjoy this not just this year, but for generations to come. It's just been a joy to be here this year. 1 and 2 to Bautista. And to have postseason baseball here, skied behind the plate. And Butera comes back and watches it go over the net. To have postseason baseball here, what we've experienced 81 times will be ratcheted up to a new level Wednesday night. We'll update you on the pertinent scores. There's Bautista looking for number 55, and he lifts it to left. Revere makes the catch for out number 2. And with every passing inning, it's looking more and more like the Yankees will be coming here, because they are losing to the Red Sox at Fenway Park late in the ball game. The Royals are beating Tampa Bay, but again, that game only becomes relevant if the Yankees win, and they are not right now. In the National League, the Phillies throwing a late scare into the Braves. 8-5 and a couple of men on with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Now, if the Braves lose, they have to hope that the Giants beat the Padres.
Yeah, it's 8-7 now.
Overbay retired. Twins came back with a couple of runs in the bottom of the ninth last night. We'll see if they can do it again here this afternoon. Ben Revere coming within an eyelash of taking a home run away. That's the difference in the game as you look at the game reset. The most encouraging thing, Nick Blackburn pitched well here today.
Yeah, just gave up a couple solo home runs for Blackburn. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 2 earned runs. Mark Sipchinski pitched an outstanding ball game. 7 innings. He allowed only 1 run. It was an unearned run. Jesse Carlson got the 8th inning. Sean Camp starting the 9th here for the Blue Jays, making his 70th appearance.
And the good news, of course, the Twins have the 3, 4, and 5 batters due up. It's just not the 3, 4, and 5 batters they normally run out there. Jose Morales is going to pinch hit for Drew Butera. Then it'll be Ben Revere and Trevor Plouffe. Mauer went 1 for 2 before leaving the game.
Gardy's been able to get everybody in this ball game, the final game of this season, regular season.
Gardy has said the other day that over the course of this homestand, he's had one-on-one conversations with the extra players, and there have been many of them. Twins carrying 34 players for most of September, and just addressing individually the likely scenarios about their chances of making the playoff roster. Definitely yes. I think Joe Mauer will be on the roster, but the definite no's and trying to be fair with each individual. And a strike 0-2. Ron Mahay in the clubhouse today. He was with the team most of the way, was hurt. He's unavailable, of course. It's a drive to center hit almost right at Dwayne Wise, makes the catch, 1 away. And that'll bring up Ben Revere. Well, we mentioned the Philadelphia-Atlanta situation. It's 8-7 now. It is conceivable that with the Padre-Giant game concluding, if the Padres win, that both the home and visiting clubhouses will be celebrating. If the Braves lose and the Padres win, they'll both celebrate because they're both going to postseason play, but they won't know who's the division champion and who's the wild card. They'll have to play that off. No, they won't. No, they won't. See, I'm confused.
Right.
They won't because they're in the playoffs. They'll go to the head-to-head competition. Yeah, that's right. San Diego wins the tiebreaker.
Right.
1-2 to Ben Revere. Revere and then Plouffe. And Revere called out on strikes, 2 away.
Well, a breaking ball right here that Revere takes. Looks like he ends up about bell tie.
I think that was actually over the plate. Well, here's Plouffe. Singled in the Twins run in the 4th. Entered the game as a pinch runner for Thome after Jim singled to center in the 2nd. One and one. Plouffe trying to keep the game alive for Matt Tolbert. Snap bat. McDonald gloves, fires. Good play by John McDonald to end the game and end the season. The Twins finish 94-68. They've got a couple of games or days off before opening up the playoffs here Wednesday night. And Ron Gardenhire coming over to congratulate Jose Bautista on his memorable season. And the Blue Jays come to town, win 3 out of 4. But truth be told, it was apparent that the focus again in this series was to try to get some guys a couple of at-bats and get them as healthy as possible.
Yeah, get them healthy. But for the Toronto Blue Jays in this series, it was Edwin Encarnacion, 5 home runs hit in these 4 ball games, 10 RBIs, and 7 of his 21 home runs have come against Twins pitching this season.
Well, we've had some quick ball games here. This was one of the quickest, just over 2 hours, and the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Minnesota Twins 2-1. And coming up next, Extra Bases, our Twins post-game show with the Twins losing the season finale 2-1.